Maggie Haberman, Confidence Man, The Making of Donald Trump and the Breaking of America. Step into the world of Confidence Man, a gripping account of Donald Trump's journey to the White House that showcases the influences, experiences, and motives that sculpted him into the 45th President of the United States. Witness how Fred Trump's business acumen, Roy Cohn's ruthless approach, and Roger Stone's political strategies contributed significantly to the rise of Donald Trump. Shed light on the trial of his personal life, the highs and lows of his dealings, and the global sensation he turned into with his reality television show, The Apprentice. Embrace this captivating story and gain a deeper insight into one of the most polarizing figures in modern history.
Trump's formative influences. Donald Trump's life, from his early experiences to his presidency, has revolved around a desire for recognition and refusal to share credit. Key influences in his life included his father, Fred Trump, and New York lawyer Roy Cohn, who both taught him the importance of relentless determination in strategic relationships. In 1964, a young Donald Trump accompanied his father to the opening of the Verrazano-Narrows Bridge, where he felt the Swedish engineer behind the construction, Othmar Ammann, was severely underappreciated. This experience left a mark on Trump, fueling his determination to never let anyone make a fool of him. However, records show discrepancies in his account, including inaccuracies in the weather conditions and Ammann's introduction, as well as Ammann's actual nationality. Years later, in 1986, Trump won a contract to renovate the Woolman Rink in New York's Central Park. Upon completion, he claimed full credit for the job, refusing to acknowledge the efforts of city officials, contractors, or the construction firm involved. This behavior exemplified Trump's desire for recognition and a refusal to share the limelight. Throughout his presidency and life, Trump consistently displayed the traits of seeking attention and taking credit. Two major influences in his life contributed to the development of this personality: his father, Fred Trump, and the notorious New York lawyer, Roy Cohn. Fred Trump, born from a German immigrant father, inherited a small fortune at the age of 12. This inheritance became the foundation for the family's real estate empire. He expanded the business in the 1930s, making valuable political connections in New York that helped him buy land, build properties, and establish a formidable dynasty. Fred passed on to his 5 children the importance of resilience and perseverance, instilling in them an unyielding work ethic. Donald Trump closely followed his father's example. He attended the New York Military Academy, Fordham University, and finally completed his studies at the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School of Business. As he embarked on his career, he soon encountered another significant influence: Roy Cohn. Roy Cohn, a remarkably controversial lawyer who contributed to Senator Joseph McCarthy's quest to expose communists and homosexuals in positions of power in the 1950s, became Trump's ally and mentor. They first crossed paths when Trump management incorporated faced accusations of discriminatory rental practices in the 1970s. Trump admired Cohn's aggressive, no-holds-barred approach and was drawn to the idea of fighting relentlessly for what he wanted. Cohn was also notably transactional, valuing others based on their usefulness. His loyalty was conditional and fleeting, a trait that Trump found appealing. This mentality, akin to that of a mafia don, struck Trump as simple and sensible. As a result, both Fred Trump and Roy Cohn shaped the path and possibilities for Donald Trump's life, reinforcing his ambition and drive for unshared recognition. Unearthing Trump's political journey. Donald Trump started as a politically savvy businessman, navigating the world of real estate. His tendency to make headlines and affiliation with political consultant Roger Stone eventually led him to explore various opportunities to run for office. Despite the financial struggles of the 90s, Trump found a way to regain his footing and build a stronger public persona, culminating in his involvement with The Apprentice. Donald Trump, primarily known for his real estate ventures, always found it necessary to be acquainted with politicians responsible for zoning approvals and potential tax relief. By the late 80s, Trump sought to align his name with headline-making issues. His assertive public stance became evident in 1989 when he purchased full-page ads in major New York papers following a Central Park rape case. Through these ads, he advocated for reinstating the death penalty and empowering the police. However, despite Trump's inclination to address controversial topics, he was initially hesitant to dive into politics. Roger Stone, a political consultant who worked for President Nixon, was a key figure in recognizing Trump's political potential. After the release of Trump's best-selling book, The Art of the Deal, Stone urged him to explore political opportunities. Over the years, Trump contemplated running for various positions, but each time he eventually withdrew. The 90s proved challenging for Trump, with high-profile divorces, failed deals, and crippling financial struggles. His Taj Mahal casino drained his resources, and by 1990, the Wall Street Journal reported his net worth as a staggering negative $294 million. Trump's financial woes continued, with him claiming $916 million in personal losses in 1995, refusing to take responsibility and blaming others for his problems. Nonetheless, by the late 90s, Trump began making a comeback. Shares of Trump hotels and casinos went public, resulting in an improvement in his financial circumstances. Trump's mastery in controlling his narrative became his most significant asset, culminating in the publication of his book, The Art of the Comeback, in 1997. From then on, Trump proudly claimed his billionaire status, regardless of veracity. A turning point for Trump arrived in 2004 with the launch of The Apprentice, a platform that amplified his brand recognition and expanded his influence significantly. This newfound prominence in the public eye marked a new phase of Trump's political journey. Unraveling Trump's rise to fame. Donald Trump's journey to political prominence spans multiple decades, marked by the prominence of The Apprentice, his engagement with Twitter, and his alignment with key political figures. Trump's uncanny ability to draw attention and maintain high approval ratings, despite negative press or controversy, has left many puzzled and has redefined conventional political wisdom. Before he became the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump revolutionized his personal brand with the success of The Apprentice. This hit reality TV show established him as a household name and increasingly prominent public figure, as his branding spread from bottled water and steaks to desk chairs and mattresses. Twitter played a pivotal role in expanding Trump's reach and influence. Initially created to promote his products, the social media platform eventually became a soapbox for his political aspirations. As the 2012 elections approached, Trump's political connections resurged. He reconnected with Roger Stone and met Steve Bannon, a right-wing media mogul with populist ideas that intrigued Trump. This period birthed several critical developments in Trump's political career. His team worked diligently to rebrand him within the Republican Party, shedding his playboy image and distancing him from past Reform Party stances. Trump's charisma and ability to inspire a crowd shone at the 2011 Conservative Political Action Conference, where major Republican Party officials took notice of his broad appeal. The 2008 economic crisis and the subsequent emergence of the Tea Party movement cultivated an environment ripe for outsider candidates like Trump. Despite opting not to run in 2012, Trump became a force to be reckoned with, as media outlets continuously reported on his opinions and kept his name in the headlines. When rumors of a presidential run resurfaced in early 2015, it was evident this time was different. Although Trump's campaign caused alarm among establishment Republicans, their attempts to manage him proved futile. Trump rejected any form of control, going against requests to tone down his rhetoric or back away from controversial proposals like the Muslim ban. Surprisingly, this refusal to change yielded positive results among voters and boosted his poll numbers. As Trump's political career unfolded, many were astonished by his ability to thrive amidst controversy and negative press. This defiance of conventional political wisdom left observers and advisors alike grappling with the reality that Trump had rewritten the rules of the game. Unraveling Trump's presidency. An eventful election year brought Donald Trump to power, where he ran the White House much like his businesses, fostering rivalries and desiring unwavering loyalty. He was constantly searching for a fierce confidant, causing turbulence throughout his tenure. Trump's skepticism of international deals and his dismissal of expert advice added to the chaos. His impeachment and challenges presented by the COVID-19 pandemic marked 2020, culminating in the 2021 Capitol Hill riot. Ultimately, Trump's presidency ended on a note of defiance, with him still doing things his way. A whirlwind election year led to the unexpected victory of Donald Trump. As an inexperienced politician, he had to assemble a cabinet quickly. Once in office, Trump retained his business instincts, creating a competitive environment among staff, isolating departments from each other and craving control. Troubles haunted the Trump administration from the start, with the FBI investigating Russia's efforts to influence the election. Trump's attempts to seek loyalty and leniency from James Comey, then FBI director, backfired, heightening tensions within the administration. Trump often craved a confidant like Roy Cohn, who could fiercely defend him with fearless resilience. Attorney General Jeff Sessions' recusal from the Russian investigation drew ire from Trump. Numerous cabinet members and White House staff were fired or resigned during Trump's tenure, as he searched for individuals who could cater to his specific needs. By mid-2019, Trump had outpaced Reagan, Obama, and both Bushes in staff turnover. One key issue in Trump's administration was his resistance to expert advice. He believed other countries took advantage of the United States and that the country's military presence in South Korea was a waste. Trump preferred simplifying global affairs by conducting one-on-one transactional relationships. He considered international deals, such as the one with South Korea, unfavorable to the United States. In 2020, Trump faced impeachment charges over a phone call with Ukraine's President, Volodymyr Zelensky. He allegedly withheld critical military aid to force Zelensky into investigating his political opponents. Yet, the biggest challenge for Trump that year was the COVID-19 pandemic. Confronted with the impacts of the virus, Trump took events as personal attacks, making it difficult for him to maintain his campaign momentum, whereas his rival, Joe Biden, adapted effectively. As the 2020 election concluded, Biden won the popular vote and critical electoral votes. However, Trump refused to concede without a fight, enlisting the help of his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, and longtime confidant Roger Stone. They launched a legal battle and a "Stop the Steal" campaign. Despite their efforts, the spotlight turned to the Electoral College vote count on January 6, 2021. Trump latched onto the idea that Vice President Mike Pence would intervene, but Pence refused to comply. Nonetheless, Trump encouraged his supporters to gather at the Capitol to pressure Pence. The event escalated into a deadly riot where more than 2,000 Trump supporters breached the Capitol building. Eventually, Pence confirmed the electoral votes, signaling the end of Trump's term. As Trump prepared to leave the White House, he issued nearly 150 pardons. Without a family fund or bank to bail him out, he departed from the White House in his presidential helicopter with Frank Sinatra's "My Way" serving as a fitting soundtrack. His presidency closed as it began, on his terms and in his own unique style.
As we conclude our journey with Maggie Haberman's Confidence Man, we're left to reflect on the key takeaways. We have delved into the world of Donald Trump, a man who has constantly sought recognition, and observed the influences that have shaped his actions and decisions in a relentless pursuit of it. Through his personal and political career, we've seen the patterns that reflect his adherence to his father's teachings, while learning from other prominent figures such as Roy Cohn and Roger Stone. Inhabitants of a turbulent presidency, Trump has managed to maintain consistency throughout his life, with a single-minded focus on garnering power and attention wherever possible. Despite his presidency coming to a controversial end, we are reminded that, throughout it all, he did it his way.